Hi, it is I, your friendly neighborhood Holy Bible teacher and explainer. We left off with Exodus 19. Let's skip over Lot and his daughters and go into Genesis 20. Genesis 20. It is titled Abraham and Abimelech. I would like to skip over this chapter of the book of Genesis. Abimelech is king of Gerar. And it is Gerar is in the region of the Negev. Earlier we saw that Abraham went to Egypt and Pharaoh took his wife. In this chapter, the same thing happens again. In verse 14 of Genesis 20, Abimelech was sorry. He said, I did not know he was your husband. Abraham, I didn't know that Sarah was your wife. So Abimelech, the king of Gerar, brought sheep and cattle and servant people and gave them to Abraham. And Abimelech said, my land is before you. Live wherever you like. And he gave Abraham 1,000 shekels of silver. Let's move forward to Genesis 21. This is the birth of Isaac. Finally, Genesis 21. Now the Lord was gracious to Sarah, and she became pregnant. At the very time God promised them, and Abraham named his son Isaac. And when his son Isaac was 8 days old, when Isaac was 8 days old, Abraham circumcised him. And Sarah said, God has brought me laughter, and everyone who hears about this will laugh with me. Who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? Yet I have borne him a son in his old age. I think she's very happy. I think it still may be true, but more so a long time ago. You had a woman perhaps, was very proud if she could have children. It made her very happy, and it made the husband. If he had many sons, for example, it was good, very good. Now, Hagar and Ishmael sent away. Isaac grew, and on the day Isaac was weaned, Abraham held a great feast. But Sarah saw that Ishmael was mocking and said to Abraham, "Get rid of that woman and her son, for that woman's son will never share in the inheritance with my son Isaac." The matter distressed Abraham greatly because it concerned his son. But God, the creator of all, said to him, "Do not be so distressed about the boy and his mother. Listen to whatever Sarah tells you, because it is through Isaac that your offspring will be reckoned. I will make Ishmael into a nation also, because he is your offspring." So early the next morning, Abraham took some food, a skin of water, and gave them to Hagar. He set them on her shoulders, the food and water, and sent her off with the boy. She went on her way and wandered in the desert of Beersheba. When the water in the skin was gone, she put the boy under one of the bushes. Then she went off and sat down about a bow shot away, for she thought, "I cannot watch my boy die." She began to sob. God heard Ishmael crying, so Hagar was crying too. And the angel of God called to Hagar from heaven and said to her, "What is the matter? Hagar, do not be afraid. God has heard the boy crying as he lies there. Lift the boy up and take him by the hand, for I will make him into a great nation." Then God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. So she went and filled the skin, it was like it's like a thermos with water, and gave the boy a drink. God was with the boy as he grew up. He lived in the desert and became an archer. He shot arrows. While he was living in the desert of Paran, his mother got a wife for him from Egypt. So you have to remember, Hagar probably is from Egypt. But they lived in the desert, but near a well. So it's like a desert. If you could imagine a desert, small desert, I don't know, there are these oases. They just live there by themselves. The treaty at Beersheba. At that time, Abimelech and Phicol, the commander of his forces, said to Abraham, "God is with you in everything you do. Now swear to me here before your God that you will not deal falsely with me or my children or my descendants. Show to me and the country where you now reside as a foreigner the same kindness I have shown to you." Abraham said, "I swear it." Then Abraham complained to Abimelech about a well of water that Abimelech's servants had seized. But Abimelech said, "I don't know who has done this. You did not tell me, and I heard about it only today." So Abraham brought sheep and cattle and gave them to Abimelech. And the two men made a treaty. Abraham set apart 7 ewe lambs from the flock, and Abimelech asked Abraham, what is the meaning of these 7 ewe lambs you have set apart by themselves? He replied, accept these 7 lambs from my hand as a witness that I dug this well. So let's take a look at this. So Abraham dug a well, and then Abimelech's, see, we understand that. Abimelech's servants just seized it. They took it over. And earlier, Abimelech, remember he said, I don't know, he gave Abraham animals, people, and money, shekels of silver. And let's take a look at it. What were the exact words? After that, it says that remember he said that you can live in my land, because Abraham is new to the land, and Abimelech is a king there. And now, remember what I read. Abraham, remember earlier he took 318 men and rescued his nephew. So Abimelech saw that Abraham was formidable, so he made a treaty with him. So doesn't that make them sort of equal, Remember, God told Abraham, I will make you into a nation, like a country. So like our country has a president, so it's like President Abraham, Now that he's sort of equal to a king of Gerar, he's sort of like, he's not King Abraham, but it's happening, it started happening, and God promised him. You can see that God does not lie. So, back to where we were. Where he dug a well, it is now named Beersheba. After the treaty was made, Abimelech and Phicol went back to the land of the Philistines. And then Abraham planted a tamarisk tree in Beersheba. So you don't plant a tree on land that isn't quite yours. So we can see that Abraham is starting to have a place to be, he has a son now, and then now he kind of has a home. He must feel great. Called in the name of the Lord, the eternal God. See, the Lord in Hebrew is Adonai, and then the eternal God. Eternal God. That's a new. There's something called the Ein Sof. The Or Ein Sof. It's spelled like O-U-R or A-U-R. And then E-I-N-S-O-F. That is the light, the limitless. Ein Sof is there is no limit to it. That's the closest thing right now that I can think of that is eternal and infinite. He might have said that. I'm not sure. So praised God, El, Kiata, you are Adonai, you are the Lord, you know how to do stuff, The Lord is like a master, the eternal God, Adonai, or Ein Sof. And Abraham stayed in the land of the Philistines for a long time. Thank you for listening. Remember, keep God first, and He'll take you places.